warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. First of all, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Rowena Lunarabe. I'm an English teacher in UPT SMP Negeri 20, Tangerang. I teach class 8 and 9 for school year 2020-2021. Today, we are going to have past continuous and simple past. In this video, I am going to differentiate between past continuous and simple past. The basic competency that we are going to deal with for this video is shown in this screen. Here, I have highlighted the words past continuous because that is what I'm going to deal with in this video. But again, as I have said earlier, I will be discussing past continuous in relation to simple present tense. I have here a comic strip. Now, I'll give you time to read the comic strips below. Or would you rather read it with me? Okay, let's go. Jack was reading a book. That is the first comic strip. And then the phone rang. He stopped reading. He answered the phone. Okay, what happened? The phone rang. That is what you that sentence is in simple past tense. Now, we're going to have a brief review of simple past tense. For simple past tense, the formula is subject, and then here you use verb to form the verb, and then the object plus adverb of time, place, or manner. Now, I would like you to pay attention to the marked words below, or the marked words here. The phone rang, he stopped reading, he answered the phone. Those are all in simple past tense. Rang, stopped, answered. Verb 1 of rang is ring. Okay, and then for the word stopped, simple past tense of stopped is stop. Oh my goodness. Okay. And then for the last verb, we have answered. Okay. Answered comes from the word answer without the ed. Now, going back to our comic strip, what happened? The phone rang. That is in simple past tense, as I have told you earlier. What was Jack doing when the phone rang? He was reading a book. These two sentences are in past continuous tense. Now, I hope you more or less have an idea here now what the difference between the past continuous tense and simple past tense is. Okay, going back again to our comic strip. What did he do when the phone rang? He stopped reading and answered the phone. These two sentences are in simple past tense. Did, rang, stopped, and answered. Jack began reading a book before the phone rang. So, When the phone rang, he was reading a book. He began reading a book. He was reading a book. The phone rang. He stopped reading. He answered the phone. Okay, now can we make a formula for past continuous tense here? Formula for past continuous tense is, formula for simple past tense is subject, and you have the verb to of the verb, and then object, and then the adverb of time, place, or manner. Here the example is the phone rang. That is in simple past tense. Then, what was Jack doing when the phone rang? He was reading a book. As I've said earlier, these two sentences are in simple or in past continuous tense. Now, we can formulate past continuous tense as subject plus be plus be was where, and then the verb plus ing plus object, and then you have the adverb of time, place, or manner. Don't you forget that. Okay, the question is, how do you form the negative and question form of the sentence, which is in this case past continuous form? Here I have an example. He was reading a book when the phone rang. That is in the positive form. Okay, positive form, as I've said earlier. How do you form the negative form of this sentence? Do you have any idea? Okay, let's see. And then another one is, how do you form the question form of this sentence? That you do in a piece of paper. I'll give you time for that. Okay, are you ready now? Let's check. You're supposed to write your answers here, but I don't think you can do that. So just put it on a piece of paper. Okay, now for PowerPoint version, you can click here for you to be able to see the answer for this, but I'll just help you on that. Okay, that is the question, and this is the sentence that we had a while ago. Okay, this is the positive form. Please note that here you have the was, or the second form of was or be, and which is followed by the ing form of the verb, read. And then the negative form is he wasn't reading a book when the phone rang. As for the interrogative sentence or the question form, was he reading a book when the phone rang? Here, I'll just let you know. I'm sorry. I'll just tell here that just take note that was placed in front of the sentence. Okay, did you get everything right? I do hope so. Now, here I have prepared a game in Google Form, which you can find in the home page of this section of Tangerang Belajar. Okay, here another question is, when do you use past continuous tense? Now, I'll give you time to answer that. Okay, are you ready? Let's check. Past continuous tense is used when Okay. Here, when two things happened in the past, but one thing happened earlier. In this case, reading a book here. He read a book first. He read the book first before the phone rang, before he stopped reading, and before he answered the phone. So this one should happen first. And then afterwards, the sentences after that should be in simple past tense. Okay. Remember, what happened earlier is in past continuous form. Again, in our example, Jack was reading a book. That should be in past continuous form. Now, for the things that happened after that should be in simple past tense. Here, the phone rang, stopped reading, and answered the phone. Again, these are the formulas for simple past tense and past continuous tense. Okay. As I've told you earlier, that which happened later should be put in simple past. Or the sentences after the past continuous should be in simple past tense. Again, Jack began reading a book before the phone rang. So when the phone rang, he was reading a book. He began reading a book. He was reading a book. The phone rang. He stopped reading. He answered the phone. Okay. After that, again, Jack began reading a book before the phone rang. So when the phone rang, he was reading a book. He began reading a book. He was reading a book. The phone rang. He stopped reading. He answered the phone. Here, the phone rang, stopped reading, he stopped reading, and he answered the phone are completed actions. And everything is in the past. And he was reading a book was not a completed action. So that should be in past continuous tense. Okay. Now, are you ready for a quiz? You can do that by going to the home menu for the quiz link then. Good luck. Okay. These are the sources that I used for my video. The end. My goodness, where's the end here? Okay. Hope to see you again in my next video. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.